Hello and welcome to another episode of Threat Update. I'm Kilian Englert, and joining me again today is Ryan O'Boyle. Ryan, say hi.
Hey, Kilian. Thanks for having me on.
How's it going? Good. Thanks for joining me again. Today, we've talked a lot in the past about ransomware, some of the things that we've seen, some of the ways to investigate it, and we wanted to switch it up. So today we're going to cover what to do maybe a little bit post-ransomware. So Ryan, in your experience, once a customer has maybe experienced some ransomware, maybe Varonis has shut it down very quickly, and during that process, there might have been some files that are encrypted. What happens next? How do they get back up and running quickly, and what have you seen in that situation?
Yeah, so the file level audit trail is really important here. We've talked about that in the sense of the models and the threat detection capabilities, but it's also really important after the fact. There's probably a good chance a few of the files were probably encrypted,
Sure.
and ultimately that's what led to the alert triggering. But the nice thing about having an audit trail is, we don't have to restore everything. We know exactly which files were encrypted. We know exactly which user performed the modification events. We know which device that they came from. And not only is this great from, more of a restoration or remediation perspective, because, we don't have to recover everything from backups, just the affected files. But then we can take that a step further. I think a few sessions ago, we talked about some of the investigation strategies, and, pivoting from user to device. Would always recommend doing the same thing in ransomware events as well. Oftentimes, it's not just ransomware. There's usually something else that happens before it. Ransomware might be the exit strategy on the way out.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So typically in that case, they would use the dashboard, maybe do a saved search for that information, or do a report out of the interface to get the list of affected files associated with the alert. Is that more or less how they would go about that first step?
Yeah, exactly. I would probably start with the alerted events. So look at the events that are related to the alerts that triggered. Then, take note of the user and the device, and then, start to expand the search a little bit. So look at other events generated by that user around the same time frame, potentially from the same device, but this time across different resources, different filers, different servers. And then also do it from the device perspective. Look at other users who may have logged onto that same machine around that same time period, and slowly start to expand the scope of our investigation out. Making sure that we take note of the IOCs that are involved with that particular ransomware variant. And typically, we're going to see a specific extension. We might see a particular ransomware note, and that's a great way to make sure that we're keeping on the trail there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that'll be really helpful for people who have experienced this. And in terms of that, and as you mentioned, it's not always just about a ransomware. Again, building that kind of model out. Is there anything else that you might recommend them looking for aside from some of the other IOCs? Anything kind of coming in or out of the environment to indicate something else has maybe happened?
Yeah, I mean, data exfiltration is always a concern. We're always looking at data access events. So obviously, which files were interacted with, by those accounts. But then also, if we're able to look at some of the perimeter streams or the edge streams, things like DNS or web proxy, we can see if there's a potential for those files that were accessed that also have left the organization. Same thing goes with Office 365. We're seeing exfiltration via the usage of shared links. Collaboration features are great, but it's also great for attackers to get data outside of the network.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ryan. I think that'll be really helpful, kind of just letting know that not only can we help detect it, we can help folks have the right tools in place to recover and make that faster to get them back online. And of course, I'll plug you guys and your team. If you've experienced something like this and you're a Varonis customer, please reach out to us. Ryan or one of the awesome folks on his team can hop on and help you do that investigation too. So thank you for joining us. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please maybe consider liking it. In YouTube, it certainly helps. Or maybe leave a comment. We love those. We got a real fun one the other week. So thanks again for watching. Take care, everyone. Talk to you soon.